I'll try to. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing today? Thought I'd hop in here a few seconds before it's supposed to go live. Like the first time we did this countdown canceled and it didn't go live. So hopefully everything goes really smoothly in 3, 2, 1. Is it going to play? Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? It's just doing this circle thing. Oh, goodness. Let's see here. I'm getting circles. Anybody else? Try this again. I'm redirecting, seeing if it's coming up. No, still circles. All right, guys. Sorry. Oh, well, what do you think? Are they going to dump the Sportster altogether? Are they going to keep the Sportster in the U.S. and have this as a secondary bike? Harley knows bikes, apparently not IT. Well, you knew that, right? They're not high on the technology side, right? That's what everybody complains about, is that their technology is lacking. Ta-da! They're building suspense. Guys, they're building suspense. Stevie, I've been told the Sportster's not going anywhere. I thought I'd check the website. I did check the website. Repeatedly. Multiple times. Damn it. Sorry, guys. I'm trying again here. Nope. The wheels on the Harley go round and round. All right, guys. Bert, what's happening, my man? How are you today? It has been on the website for over an hour. Really? I put a link an hour ago. Okay. So they put it up an hour before it actually went live, and it's on the HD website. Okay. Did they do any kind of video on it? It's called a Sportster S. It already shows there's no big reveal. All right. Well, what motors it got in it? The specs. Working and watching the tube. Well, I'm working and it's up now. All right. Do I have to go search for it? Is that it? Maybe I just need to go to Harley's website and pull it up, because this ain't doing anything. All right. Let's see what I can find. I hate it when people do stuff like this. Hey, we're going to release it here. The Sportster S, huh? All right. I see it. Watch the film. All right. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to switch tabs here. All right. Share screen. Yeah, I'm technically challenged just like Harley is, so registration confirmed. Really? And it's just doing the circle thing too. All right, winning. Is there just so many people that are watching it that nobody can watch it? DeBeard, getting close to poker run time. Dude, it is. We are like, I don't know, 16 days away. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. The stress level is, you can't see my hand go that high, but it's pretty high, although we're doing really good. So we've got pretty much everything lined up, and we're excited about that. All right, guys, I'm still trying to get to where everything's going to work here. The watch video is just a PA promo. Hit the like button. All right. Well, it's just a 30-second video. Sportster S. All right. Under the parts section of the HD side. All right. Well, that was a flop. Sorry, guys. All right, real quick. So everybody knows there's a Sportster S coming out. I don't know what motor is going to be in that, guys. Do you guys know? Is it going to be the Pan America? I heard a rumor that it was going to be like a slowed down version of the Pan America. I mean, if that bike's got the Pan America motor in it at 150 horsepower, that's gonna freaking scream. And that's pretty exciting. Well, Harley shared it on their YouTube. Let's see if I can find it on their YouTube. Thanks, man. Give me just a second. I'll see what I can find. Oh, I found my video when I searched Harley Davidson. How bad is that? Come on. Ah, there it is. I see a 15-second video. That's 3 weeks ago. What am I missing here? I give up. All right, I'm pissed. Nope, nothing new on the YouTube channel for me either. So the links on Riding in the Ozarks. See if I can find it. Haha. What am I missing? All right. Well, the 428 video is under the parts section. It gives a lot of info about the bike, just not an intro or reveal. All right. It's not working. You aren't missing anything. Great. So our consensus here is that Harley was going to do a big reveal. They failed miserably at it. Nothing's working. I don't know why they would even, why would you do that? I mean, you're a huge company. Why would you do that? Par for the course with HD. It is. Matt, I literally just watched it. Okay. All right, let's see here. See what else I can come up with here. We're going to see if we can't bring on, if anything will work. Nothing is working today, guys. Hey, Riding in the Ozarks, I sent you a link. Hey, Blake, I don't know. So we went on like it was supposed to be, and the video was supposed to be there. There was no video, it just spun. So I honestly don't know when the reveal is. I don't know what, it's still spinning when I go and look at their website. I'll refresh it, see if anything changed. Nothing. All right, but I heard that we could go to parts. Let's see what we can come up with here. Sorry, guys. Unfortunately, usually I'm the one that is technically challenged. It was not me this time, I promise. Parts. Toby said that there was a video under parts. All right, let's try this. Ange has me on in the other room so I can hear a big echo of myself. Oh, look. I guess Mama Badger wants to come on. Hi, Ange. Say hi to everybody.
Hold on, I'm pulling it up. So give me just a second. I'm going to share the screen.
What video are you pulling up? The one I just pulled up?
It's going on. It's live right now in the middle. So I think this is it. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong. But let's see.
No, that's the CVO. That's the old one, Ange.
This is
The old one.
right now on there.
No, sweetie. This is the one from January. I promise you.
Okay.
I may have one for you guys. Give me just a second. All right, let's try this.
Hello, my name is Andrew Pajak, Senior Product Manager for Fit and Function Accessories. Harley Davidson defines customization and personalization of motorcycles.
All right, this is the one from the parts section, guys.
Harley Davidson Genuine Motor Parts and Accessories has created a range of accessories for the Sportster S motorcycle designed to enhance fit, comfort, and style. Some rides are best shared. The accessory pillion kit is upholstered to match the stock seat and offer a factory integrated look and seamless fit. Rear fender rain guard accompanies the pillion and is designed to deflect spray and debris from the passenger's back. The pillion also offers a solid base for the accessory tail bag luggage. Riders looking to enhance their style and comfort will enjoy the Sundowner solo seat. A wider and deeper bucket ensures confidence during acceleration. Strategically constructed foam delivers pressure relief for all-day comfort, and signature styling makes sure it stands out from the crowd. Stitch lines are sealed to prevent water from soaking into the foam and leaving the rider with soggy jeans. The Sundowner pillion is designed to be paired with the Sundowner solo seat to add passenger accommodation with matching style. It is larger than the standard accessory pillion and offers added comfort. Seam-sealed stitch lines prevent water from soaking into the foam and leaving the passenger with soggy jeans. A perfect pairing for either pillion, the low padded backrest slides into the pillion and is secured to the tail section. It provides a confidence-enhancing butt stop for the passenger. pad matches the upholstery of either pillion or seat. The backrest is not designed to support luggage. The Sportster S foot peg mount kit offers a factory integrated look to ensure the most stylish perch for your passengers' feet. Using integrated mounting points, this kit includes left and right supports and necessary hardware. Customers can select from any bike-compatible accessory foot pegs to match their bike's style and attitude. Our mid-control conversion kit relocates the original equipment forward position to a mid position on the bike. This more athletic position on the bike helps riders shift their weight when riding aggressively.
It's more athletic.
Mid controls may also provide an improved fit for those who cannot comfortably reach the forward controls. Installation does not compromise motorcycle lean angle, and mid controls may be installed with passenger foot pegs. For riders who desire added wind protection or like the look of a windshield, the compact detachable windshield is designed specifically for the Sportster S model. Black mounting hardware and support brackets and the dark tint of the windshield are a style match for the motorcycle. The windshield mounts to the forks with quick release clamps and can be installed or removed quickly and easily. Harley Davidson utilizes quality hard-coated polycarbonate material that is resistant to chips and scratching. Protecting the new Revolution Max engine, the engine guard is designed to help protect the motorcycle from cosmetic damage in the event of a stationary or low-speed tip-over. The one-piece tubular steel guard has a black finish that matches the motorcycle chassis. Factory mount locations make it easy to install. Our tailbag is designed specifically to fit and look great on the Sportster S model. It provides the rider with a convenient luggage option for ride essentials. The bag is secured to the tail section with quick-release cam lock straps and has minimal leave behind to preserve the Sportster S profile. The bag interior is bright orange to make it easier to find the desired contents. The bag also includes a convenient carry handle and a waterproof rain cover. Luggage capacity is 5 pounds, and the main compartment volume is expandable from 8.2 liters.
All right, guys, I got the other video up as well,
It
so
is
as soon as this
recommended
one's
that the
over, I'll
tail
play
bag
that
be
one.
installed over the accessory pillions. And introducing a new collection launching with the Sportster S, finished in gloss black with bright machined aluminum highlights, the Wild One collection billet accessories are designed to add raw and rugged style that enhances the proportions of the Sportster S model. Many pieces also have the HDMC dog tag style branding. The Wild One collection includes hand grips, rider foot pegs, passenger foot pegs, shifter peg, rear brake lever, mirrors, timer medallion, clutch medallion, cam sprocket medallions, and alternator plug cover. Harley Davidson Genuine Motor Parts and Accessories are excited to offer these products and cannot wait to see how customers will accessorize the next generation of Sportster.
All right, guys, I got the other one up. Give me just a second and I'll play it. All this tech crap, man. I'm not a tech guy. All right, let's see.
Somebody said to put the link up. Are you getting it just from the Harley Davidson?
Yes, I've got it
So
right
just
here.
go to harleydavidson.com.
Here it is.
Got it on the very front.
With Sportster S, we knew we could put the
Bye,
sport.
guys. I'm checking off.
This motorcycle rides exactly.
Hey, Mike.
It's insane.
Hi.
Design was intended
Hi.
to push the limits.
The acceleration, just an absolutely exhilarating feel.
Finally.
Revolution Max, unlimited amounts of horsepower and torque right at the twist of the throttle.
It's such an exciting, thrilling motorcycle to ride.
You can understand that you're in Scotland, and just wanted to welcome you to my country. I hope you have an amazing time there. There are some of the best riding roads in the world in Scotland, and so I hope you've got your Harley with you, and that you're going to get some miles done out on the roads. Really have a great time, and welcome to Scotland.
Doesn't sound like a Harley.
No, I've known the specs for about 24 hours.
At 87 Ricer, yes.
What's up, 87?
It's so great to be in Scotland.
Oh man, what a beautiful ride through this beautiful countryside. It's amazing to be here, Jochen. This is a pretty awe-inspiring, emotional experience for me. My ancestry is here.
Think about that it all kind of started, with your great-great-great-grandfather in Scotland. If he had not gone to America, what would have happened?
It would have been a different story. It's a labor of love, the restoration, the fact that they preserved it for riders from all around the world to come and enjoy and spend time here. Pretty awesome.
Pilgrimage back to the roots.
Heritage is so powerful, and it's really unique to our company, which I'm so proud of.
Yeah. Well, and it's so great to combine it, going back to the roots and then launching a new bike, which has a whole history on its own. Actually, I was looking at the dates. If you think about it, they left for America in 1857. The first Sportster came to market in 1957, exactly 100 years later. And now we're here over 60 years later and are launching the next Sportster. It's quite extraordinary.
All right. Is that not the end?
In the late 50s, when Sportster
Probably
was born,
not.
it was considered a giant killer. It was a super
They
bike.
like to do a feature film with a lot of promoting Harley
Extreme,
Davidson,
extreme,
less
it
about
was
the
a real
motorcycle.
performance motorcycle. The legacy of Sportster for Harley Davidson is a really important part of our story. We can look at some of these analogs to the automotive world, like Mustang, Camaro. Sportster is one of those names that's actually been around, longer than some of those names. It is a name that's instantly recognizable.
You look at the longevity of Sportster from 1957 to today. It's unmatched and unparalleled in the motorcycling world that one model has such staying power. And that's what's made it so special. It's staying with the times. It's getting ahead of the times. That's what the Sportster's done down through its history. For 1957, it starts with one model for that year. And the biggest change is overhead valves. And so it's going to provide a lot more power, which is what riders were asking for. It's what dealers were asking for. The name Sportster is really synonymous with the general use of that bike. It was a small, nimble, powerful bike.
There was a strong demand for it in the market. We were looking at low-priced, high-performing, lightweight motorcycles. Once the Sportster is released, it's really incredible to see where it goes from there.
In the first year that Sportsters were out, Gerald McGovern campaigned on a new 1957 Sportster and won the Jack Pine Endurance Run, which is one of the most brutal motorcycling events. And so Harley Davidson couldn't help but really make some noise about this. One of the more unique uses happens in which the LA Coliseum is really kind of used as a hill climb. One of the seating sections was outfitted with a ramp to get this thing up to the top, just to show the power of the Sportster model. One of the most important things about the Sportster engine was how versatile it was. You could literally take this engine, you could put it in a road bike, you could put it in a Daytona racer bike, you could put it in scrambles or flat track racing, you could put it in a hill climb, you could put it in a land speed record bike. And it would outperform all the competition in all of those different forms. One monumental point in Sportster history really is the Sportster Streamliner. In 1970, a group of 4 guys developed this kind of long cigar-looking rocket run on a Sportster engine. The first time you look at it, some people might say, that's a motorcycle. It is. You're talking about a Sportster engine going 265 miles an hour and basically kind of crushes the land speed record for its time.
A new motorcycle world land speed record.
The company's always looking at how can we take this thing that's great and make it even greater. So technology-wise, the bike is always moving ahead.
And now today, we have the birth of the Revolution Max platform. So you're going from evolution to revolution. With Sportster S, we knew we could put the sport back in Sportster because it's time. We knew we had the engineering prowess to do it with the RevMax powertrain. The birth of this architecture, it's really knocked down a bunch of fences that we had. Kind of untied our hands in terms of what we can do with form factor, what we can do with performance. You put the right people in the room and you get the right feedback from the customers. You know, you get the right kind of technology and the right kind of thinking, the right kind of mindset. Keep the soul in all the decisions, and you get motorcycles like this that push all the boundaries and deliver that Harley Davidson experience.
Knowing that we had this opportunity to, think about, well, what is the next generation of Sportster like? Our designers, they go to work. They begin to create all kinds of, wild spectrums, from staying safe to the traditional to the extremes.
We wanted to make sure the first one was wild. It was going to kind of turn heads. We're going to challenge our internal standards. The design team just said, well, let's just turn the dials up to 11.
The design was intended to push the limits of what people think when they hear the term Sportster. How can we really push everything about this to be as irrational and cool as possible?
Anything that's easy isn't as rewarding. We had a lot of freedom. We knew there was nothing ever like it, so there was nothing that was constraining our imagination.
It's crazy to me, but of all the designs that we've worked on, this is one where there was the least amount of change from the design mock-up to the final production model.
I think when people take a look for the first time at Sportster S, while it's going to look very different, it's also going to look very familiar.
We wanted to stitch in some iconic elements of the design from different generations of Sportster. The tail section, XR750, the fat 16-inch front wheel, that's 48. If you look at what our customers do with Sportster, customization, you can have the same experience you've had with past Harley Davidsons in terms of making it your own. You can fully kit out the new RevMax family with all kinds of great parts and accessories.
For this bike to really find its way into the modern era, we really gave ourselves a ton of freedom with regards to technology. The ride modes are amazing. It totally changes the personality of the bike.
We have this really beautiful 4-inch round TFT display. It's Bluetooth enabled and allows for us to have turn-by-turn navigation and no longer having to worry about the traditional Sportster method of taping your directions to your tank and trying your best to remember how to get there. But it also has all the upgraded riding safety enhancements, having cornering enhancements, ABS, allow for a better riding experience.
It's just like Sportster should be, and it's completely unlike any other Sportster you've ever ridden. This motorcycle rides exactly the way that it looks. It's such an exciting, thrilling motorcycle to ride. If the 57 Sportster was a giant killer, then this is an apex predator. I mean, this thing is the ultimate evolution of Sportster. This will surprise a lot of people out on the street and just how competitive this motorcycle is in some of these performance metrics.
It's just pissed off and ready to wreak havoc. Just an absolutely exhilarating feel.
We tuned the delivered performance to be more torque-based. So stoplight to stoplight, you're going to be able to crank it and beat your buddy to the next one.
There's just so much to unpack in terms of what the bike delivers from a performance standpoint. 121 horsepower,
94 foot-pounds of torque, 12-to-1 compression ratio, and a peak RPM of 9,500.
500 pounds, which feels just incredibly light, maneuverable on the road.
Every ounce of power is just a whole lot of fun.
It was fun charging into some of those corners and grabbing a handful and coming out of the corner.
perfect bike for twisted roads of Scotland.
Yeah, absolutely. It was fun.
I can't wait for people to throw a leg over this bike and really experience the performance that this bike has. It's so agile and it's a real beast. It really is. I mean, just every gear, there's a surprise waiting for you now.
Yeah. You know, when we were riding today, I was reflecting on so much, you know, the heritage, my family, Scotland. But what I'm really reflecting on now, after getting off that motorcycle, is, you know, we're in exciting times for Harley Davidson, the Revolution Max 1250 and the new Sportster, and what's to come. It's very, very exciting.
Well, it was a great day. It was great to experience it with you, the history of your ancestors, a new bike, and I think it's time to have a whiskey now.
I love that.
The future for the Sportster family, it looks incredibly bright based on this motorcycle. And we've got some really cool things up our sleeves. We always do. There will be future models that will definitely tap into some of the more classic form factor of Sportster.
We're really not adding the next chapter to that story, but we're adding the first chapter to the next book.
Hey, is it over? It is. All right, guys.
Hey,
so you saw the
Sonny,
video.
if you got that link, can you pass it over to me? I never could get it to load from HD's website anywhere.
I absolutely will. Let me remove this and pull us up. All right, guys. So for those of you that do not know, we are joined by Riding in the Ozarks, and I guarantee you he probably knows more about this bike than Harley themselves. Because
I've had access to a lot of the specs for about 24 hours. So all my audio is done from my video. I just need some B-roll, which Harley just gave us. So, and I'm downloading some pictures and stuff. I've been pulling screenshots off their website for an hour before you got started. But yeah, if you got a question, let me know. I can't respond to the chat in here. I don't know if it's because I didn't sign into StreamYard first or what. I had a hard time getting to your link. You had never messaged me on Instagram before, so it was like I had to accept it or reject it on my phone before it would show up on the PC.
I got you. All right, guys. So let me get back to the chat here. I was just getting him taken care of. All right. So I will tell you my quick thoughts on it. The Sportster is iconic, right? It's been around for a long time. But even when I worked at Harley and I sold them, not very many people bought the Sportster. One, because it was kind of top heavy, and two, it just didn't perform. If you wanted to go ride with your bagger buddies, you didn't do it on a Sportster, right? 5-speed, and you're just struggling down the highway. So it wasn't ideal there. I didn't notice. I know they said it was 121 horsepower and 94 foot-pounds. Is it a 6-speed or a 5-speed?
6-speed.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, they corrected that, right? Because that was an issue they had before. It was just a 5-speed.
Cruise control is standard. 4 kinds of ABS, 3 rider modes. Navigation is like the Pan America through your device with the HD app. Bluetooth connectivity to your device for music and all that, like the Pan America. 4-inch TFT display, all that feeds through. It has, a big thing that a lot of people complained about in my videos was forward controls. There is a mid-control option. There is also already a pillion seat and backrest for passenger with an extended splash guard. That's in the parts side. I saw that this morning. I think there's a sundowner seat coming for the driver for an upgraded seat for comfort. What else?
So, this is, I think
you
you're
asked
right
about the engine earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a different engine than the Pan America. This is the 1250T. And they said it has different heads, valves, camshaft profiles, intake, exhaust. And they actually made this engine have a different power profile because they wanted to be able to give a lot more low RPM than what the Pan America was profiled to do. So it is not the exact same engine, but it is the same engine, but it's they just, different cams, that kind of stuff, different valves, different tuning.
Well, I mean, at 121 horsepower, they knocked off about 29 horsepower on it too. But like 9mm James says, the young guys should love this. I think it kind of fits, right? I think a lot of the younger guys will.
Yeah, it's still their fastest second production bike yet for the Pan America. I mean, the 131 crate, I think, is right at around 120 horsepower with that great big engine. Of course, it puts out more torque than this does, and it also weighs a lot more. This bike also wet comes in at 500 pounds.
Right.
So it's lighter than the Pan America as well.
Well, I kind of think this fits that mold of the people that want like crotch rocket style power without riding an actual crotch rocket. So they can kind of get that combo.
Yeah, I don't know if Dan from Gears and Gadgets is still in here, but he's talked in the past about he would like to see this motor in a bagger. And, I think that'll happen eventually to compete with the Challenger. I don't think the air-cooled motors are going away. I don't think this is a threat to the classic bikes as such. I think in the Sportster's case, it is. Just Sportster Evo engine won't meet emissions in a lot of countries. We say Euro 5 emissions, but a lot of the other countries use those same emission standards that are not part of the European Union. So Harley's market for the Sportster is dwindling. And yes, they can still put it out here in the U.S., but there's a lot more overhead to only have it for one country than to have it globally. So that's the financial decision that they're looking at.
Yeah, so I think it's great. I like the fact that one of the biggest complaints for us Harley guys is that they are turning their back on the core customers. So I think the fact that they're kind of going back and pulling the history up as part of their marketing is actually a really great idea, right? Because the Sportster has been around since 1957. They could have easily named this something completely different and went off path, but I think incorporating that just helps them with their history and everything with this bike.
Yeah, I think it makes people not feel like they completely abandon the Sportster. It is just, and it's not, everybody says, why is Harley doing this? They're making a mistake. Well, or at least a lot of the diehards do, but it's really not, necessarily that they absolutely want to kill the Evo engine. It's that, government regulations and emissions in other countries, and probably here in the U.S. soon, are going to force that. It's going to be harder and harder to meet those requirements with that air-cooled engine.
Right. And I mean, there's natural progression, right? So everything's going to progress and has to progress. So, I mean, this is that next progression. At least they're going forward and not backwards, right? Because that's what happens. A lot of companies put something out and they go backwards. At least this has more technology, more power, more of everything. Some people don't like the way it looks. I get that.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be for everybody, but I rode the FTR 1200, and this matches that bike on specs. And so for everybody who's saying the FTR 1200 is, so much better quality build than Harley Davidson, well, this bike is priced exactly like the FTR 1200 S, which has the digital display. It has one more horsepower, a little bit more torque, a few pounds shed off of it. You can get it with mid controls if you want that upright riding position. It was really aimed at that. And I think, this being an S version, there may be a non-S version in the future that would be a lower CC, maybe aimed at the 100 horsepower Scouts, something like that. And, we've also got that variable valve air-cooled engine that was patented a few years ago. That doesn't mean they may not come back out with another air-cooled Sportster down the road if they can meet all the emissions, which variable valve timing will help them do.
Right. Well, right. I mean, the technology of the air-cooled engine is old, right? We all know that. That technology is old. There's so much more technology out there that they can get more horsepower, better fuel mileage. I mean, the whole 9 yards. They kind of, as a company, have to go that way.
Yeah, I mean, I the look at it, I've done a lot of videos on it, so I've looked at it a lot, and the look grows on you a little bit, just kind of like the Pan America. Everybody at first thought it was ugly. A year ago, people are saying, is it too ugly to sell? And the more people see it, the less they complain about the looks. And it's just different. It is a drastic change, per se, to what we're used to. But, I think people will give it a chance. They'll get used to the looks a little more. I want to see how it rides. One thing I am a little concerned about, it's only got 2 inches of travel in the rear suspension, even though it does have premium Showa suspension on front and rear.
Well, I was one of the first ones when I saw it. I was like, that has got to be the ugliest bike. I will say this, the orange and gray to me is still ugly. I just don't like that color combination, but the black and the dark green and all those look really good. It looks like a mini road glide fairing. I mean, that's what it looks like. It looks like they took the road glide fairing and shrunk it and said, okay, we're making a mini road glide.
Yeah, and this thing's got the Fat Bob headlight. It's got a radiator. It's different. It's got a skid plate on the bottom of it. It is not like any motorcycle Harley Davidson has produced in the past as far as looks. It's Sportster S. So it's going to take people a little while to get used to the looks of it. And I hear that, it's not in the video, but I hear August, September, we should be seeing this bike at least show up in demos and things like that, if not on the dealership floor. So come September, I know I'll be at a couple of events where there'll be demo trucks, and I'll be looking to ride this thing.
Me as well. I want to get my leg over it as soon as I can. That's just it, though. That's something else that Harley seems to be doing differently now. Is they launch a bike like this and kind of let you mull it over, right? It's not instantly available. You have to wait a few months to see it, to ride it, to buy it. They're not just building 100,000 of them and then announcing they've got it. It's kind of the old school way of doing business, which is kind of neat as well.
Yeah, I think that they did a whole tour for the Pan America. I don't know that they'll do that for this, but I do think getting it out there and letting people see it and kind of get used to it, doing the demo rides. I mean, like I said, this rear suspension I'm a little worried about with 2 inches of travel. And another big thing is people complain about the single front disc brake at 121 horsepower. That's why some people think they detuned it, because they didn't want to put dual disc on it. Everybody says if the 150 horsepower bike has to have dual front disc. The FTR at the same specs has dual front disc, and I rode it and it was good. But this has got premium Brembo brakes on it, so it may be fine. I just want to ride it and see how it feels.
Boba Fett asked what the price point is. Do you know what the price point is?
15,000 smooth, $14.99.
Okay, so it's definitely higher priced than any Sportster they've had before. But I was just thinking, this has got to be, from a horsepower and performance standpoint, you've got the Pan America, the V-Rod, and this Sportster as the top three production motorcycles.
This is it's not like any Sportster we've ever looked at before. The pricing's not going to be the same. I mean, if you look at the performance, it has the horsepower and torque numbers to match a full-size bike. It's just a smaller package per se. But rider modes, all these other things with the performance, Brembo brakes, Showa forks, inverted forks like the Lowrider S, things like that all cost more money, and they made this a more of a premium model. Like I said, a Sportster non-S in the future might be considerably cheaper with less special features.
Right. Well, Toby kind of made a good point. What does the Sportster S have versus the past Sportsters do not have? This clearly to me explains the price increase. Well, right. I mean, from just the technology standpoint, right? The rider modes, it goes up by, what's a Sportster's average horsepower? Do you know? In the 60s, right?
Yes, 60s for a 1200.
So, I mean, this is double the horsepower output. It's got a 6-speed transmission and all this technology. That's why it's 15 grand.
And there's some little things like cruise control, which is not something you could even hardly get on a Sportster. I don't think they even offered it as at least a factory option for Harley Davidson. And this is this is also pre-wired for heated grips. So if you want to throw heated grips on it, you don't have to rewire the handlebars or anything else. It has 2 points for heated gear, USB charging port. Not that you can't throw one of those on a bike for $12, but still, they have tried to I guess give you those things without making you have to do it yourself or find an aftermarket solution for it.
Right. Well, Bill, the Harley guy, said a lot of people can't afford a new bike. Specifically, a person only makes $15 an hour. I completely agree, guys, and I've said this on my channel before. If you want a Harley, everybody says they're super expensive. If you go shopping, you can find a good deal on a Harley. I bought that V-Rod for $1,500 that my daughter rides. I bought both my Fat Boys at half of list. I mean, you just have to go out and shop. No, you can't afford a brand new bike, and you shouldn't be buying one if you can't afford one. So you have to go shop.
$15 an hour. I had a comment last night. Someone said that Harley needs to get back to making their bikes affordable for blue collar workers, and I've actually done research on this. And if you compare the price of Harley Davidsons to the cost of living, they have not increased outside of the cost of living in the last 30 years. I mean, they have gotten more expensive along with the cost of living. If you go back and you look at how that bike compares, it hasn't changed in 30 years. Where people will get this conception that it's not affordable for blue collar workers is if you go back and look at the average blue collar worker's income from 30 years ago, it was higher compared to the cost of living than it is now. Blue collar wages have not stayed up. America's gone to shipping blue collar jobs overseas. We have more white collar workers. And white collar wages have actually increased more so than the cost of living, and blue collar wages haven't kept up with the cost of living. And that's why it feels like Harley Davidson's not affordable for the blue collar worker anymore, which is true. But it's not because Harley Davidson's become more expensive than they were 30 years ago. It's because the value for the blue collar workers' wages hasn't increased as it should have.
Well, and Harley's always been a premium product, right? I mean,
yeah, they don't compare. Right, they don't want to talk about how they compare to the 1100 Rebel. They want to talk about how they compare to the Triumph Bobber. They want to talk about how they compare to the W, the Ducati Diavel. That's who they see as their competition, not Honda, Suzuki, Yamaha, and Kawasaki.
Right.
And I'm not saying they're not competition, but that's not who they compare themselves to.
Toby said that is what HD wants the consumer to do. By keeping the new model supply low, they increase the demand for the old models, hence the HD certified pre-owned program. That's true. The dealerships are selling. I know the dealership I worked at, we sold a lot of used bikes before, but I mean, it's just increasing that demand for bikes that aren't brand new.
Yeah, I said when after the CPO program came out and I started looking at it a lot more that this is Harley's answer to the entry-level bike. That's another reason I think the Sportster's not seen as being necessary. They think selling used bikes are what they're going to offer people that come in that can't afford a full-sized, Softail or bagger. Oh, you can't get into a $15,000 motorcycle. Let me offer you a $10,000 used motorcycle. And that's going to be their entry, those people, instead of it being the Sportster going forward, I think.
Well, and then the other thing is, if I was selling bikes today, if somebody came in and couldn't get on one of those baggers or one of those $20,000 motorcycles, I would take them to this one and go, this one will outperform those. And you can afford this one. Let's get you started here. I mean, that's what we did with the Sportster. Oh, you can't afford the Dyna? All right, well, the Sportster's like $3,000 cheaper. We can get your payment where you want it to be. I mean, honestly, guys, most people, when they go into Harley Davidson, they're buying a payment. They're not buying a motorcycle. They come in and say, I can afford $369 a month. So then we're fitting their $369 to a motorcycle, not I want a street glide and it doesn't matter what the payment is. That's usually not the buying process. So we do everything we can do to get them in this top one, but sometimes we have to bump them down even to a used bike, to get the payment that they're purchasing.
And you're exactly right. When I bought my 16 Street Glide, I called up to negotiate the price over the phone, and they were like, "What can you afford?" And I'm like, "Well, I can afford the CVO, but I don't want a CVO. I want a Street Glide, black, vivid, no warranty, no extras, out the door. What can you do?" And they go, and then I told them what the interest rate was going to have to be since I was financing it. And when I walked in the door, all the numbers matched what we talked about.
That's it. That's the hard part is people when they walk through the door, they have these, champagne dreams, and they've got a hot dog. My manager used to say this all the time. They've got a hot dog budget and they've got caviar dreams. And so we have to put them somewhere in the middle, to where they've got a nice hamburger. So they're happy. We're happy. Toby Northern. The Badgers, to me, this new Sportster S is for the person who already ridden an old V-Rod or Sportster or Dyna that want an option for heated grips and other amenities not on a smaller bike. So, I was disappointed when they got rid of the V-Rod, although the V-Rod didn't sell. I think in the 2 years I worked at Harley, I maybe sold 3, and they were all the young guys. I think the V-Rod was a phenomenal bike. It just, our Harley culture didn't accept it. So this one's aimed at the Sportster market and the younger kids, which will accept it. So this is kind of that combo, right? The V-Rod and the Sportster kind of merged.
Yeah, I had, when I was talking about Evolution Max, and I did a video on that was pretty popular. Someone said, "Isn't this just the V-Rod engine?" And it takes a lot of cues from the V-Rod engine, but it is a new design. The V-Rod engine and this are not exactly the same. This has got more lightweight materials, aluminum heads, covers, different things. You probably can tell me more as the V-Rod. The V-Rod, is it a unitized transmission or it's separated, isn't it? You're still doing 3-hole oil change on the V-Rod, right?
No. One.
Okay, so it is a unitized unit. The fluid's transferred.
It is.
Yeah, this has the same design.
It's a 5-quart. It's a 5-quart full change. In fact, I just did hers this last weekend. So yeah, it's all in one.
I rode one, but it was right after they first came out, and I couldn't tell you from 20 years ago what it looked like, as far as the transmission, if it was unitized or separate or what.
They're great little bikes. I took hers once I did the oil change. I took it for a ride this weekend. I'm like, man, it's just fun. And the whole reason I bought that bike was they quit making them. I ran into a smoking deal, and I always said I wanted one sitting in my garage just to have one. They're fun to ride. And then Desi started riding, and Desi's kind of taken over. But it's still not her bike.
I got a text from somebody who's out of this area code that said they couldn't get it. They asked if I was watching the reveal, said they couldn't get a load, but I don't know if I was watching it. So it wasn't just us. I don't even know who that person is, but they've got my phone number. I've got the phone number back. I'm not even sure who it is.
Yeah, I saw a lot of people in here that couldn't get into it. I'm glad we finally got it up, but so I've done 3 of them.
Well, the link you gave me takes me, the link you gave me, still, that's the link I was on to begin with. And when I loaded, I get a 30-second Pan America Globe reveal video. I don't get this video. So whether it's their YouTube side or what, and usually these videos are on YouTube, and that's where they stream them from, but they're unlisted. And I've actually, once I get them, I can usually get keep the link and I can get back to it. But I have not been able to find it on YouTube yet. They may release it later today. The launch videos, there's a 13-minute video out there now on YouTube. It came out 16 minutes ago. It's not probably this whole thing, but it's part of it. When they did the 21 launches, it was an hour long. That ended up being 6 YouTube videos that they released in separate parts. And that's probably what today's video will end up being as well.
Right. Yeah, because I've done 3 of these lives with their reveals. The Pan America was the only one that actually went smoothly. The other ones couldn't get the video to play. Kind of like today.
Yeah, this is the first time I've had this problem, but you know, it is what it is. I had to, access to specs and other things already. I've been downloading images and B-roll footage and things like that. So
when's your
it'll
video
take a little
gonna
while
go?
to download.
When's your video
Well, as
gonna
soon as
go
we get
live?
off the phone, as soon as I get off the phone or off the computer and finish editing it, I've got all the audio done. I've got some B-roll over part of it. You don't want to see me staring at the camera the whole time. So as soon as I finish getting this stuff downloaded and getting it chopped up and put in the video, I'll put it out. I'll probably give everybody an hour or two notice for prepare, but I'm hoping this afternoon. I put the leaked video out a few days ago, and that got 20,000 views in the last couple of days. So a lot of people are looking for me to put a video out because of that, again, for this. So I'm working on it as fast as I can as soon as I get off here.
All right, guys. So you heard that. It's Riding in the Ozarks. Go check out his YouTube. If you're not subscribed, hit that subscribe button. He does videos on all the new bikes coming out. I've seen Harleys, I've seen Hondas, I've kind of seen it all on there. But he does an in-depth dive. He does all the research, which I'm never going to do. I don't have the time or the will to do all that work. He does it. And generally when you guys hear me rattling off statistics, I'll tell you that I got it off of his channel. So he does all the work. I take all the credit.
we're gonna have another quarter earnings call here in a couple of weeks too. So be watching for that one. We'll see how second quarter turns out for Harley Davidson.
Yep, I can't wait. Like I said, guys, go subscribe to his channel. He has all of the great details in detail, and he's just an overall good guy. I got to hang out with him for a little while when I was in Missouri. Had a blast, and I think that's it, guys. I'm going to peel off here. I've got lots of stuff to do. I know that Mike with Riding in the Ozarks has a lot of stuff to do. He's got a video to put out in the next couple hours, so keep an eye out for that. And guys, thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you later.
All right. Bye.